Humble beginnings. My story, my testimony.
Beautiful, wonderful. What another beautiful, lovely time that God has graciously given unto us. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you, our wonderful viewer. Thank you for loving our show and thank you for choosing it. May the Lord God bless you. This is your host, Bishop Dr. Ken, who holds a program entitled Humble Beginning. My story, my testimony. You know, in this show, we get people who come and narrate to us their story. And I know even you have your story. And one of these days, God will grant a chance and you come and become a blessing unto us. Well, let me now welcome the guest of today. He is none other David Matinde. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity to be in your show. It's a great show. It has lifted a lot of people. It has encouraged people.
Thank
It
you.
has told them it does not matter where you begin.
You told them to wait. You are going to the show.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, that's very great.
Yeah.
That's very great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for choosing to come and be with us on our show. And this show, it is really impact many, and many are lifted. And I know many will be watching you over there. They are happy and they're excited to say, oh, even David is there.
Oh, amen.
One of our own. I know your friend.
Yeah.
Welcome. Now, let's get started. Now, when you talk about humble beginning, it is about our story, our testimony. Can we begin to know who you, David? Alizaliwa wapi?
David Matinde was born 45 years ago in Kisumu County,
Wow.
in Nyakach sub-county,
Yeah.
in a small village called Jimo, around Sondu Market.
Beautiful. I am proud of you. You are not even you are not fearful even to disclose your ears. Others hide.
We don't grow any younger.
I like that.
Oh, thank
I
you,
like
Bishop.
that. 45 years ago, he was born.
Yeah.
A man by the name David Matinde.
Yes.
Yeah. Wa kule kunaitangwa Kisumu Dala.
Dala Pacho,
Oh, ni kule kunaitwa Kisumu Dala.
Nyakach.
Nyakachi. Kwenyewe.
Kwenye ndani.
Mahali pa samaki wengi.
Samaki wengi,
Wanono.
exactly next to the lake.
Eh.
And we also border the mountains.
The mountains.
Yes.
Like which one?
Our brothers from the Kalenjin world.
Kalenjin
They are our neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course the other side of Uganda.
Then this other side, we also border the Nandi. On the other side, we border the Vihiga guys.
Bigger guys.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Amen.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Now, you were born in Kisumu, that village. How was your early life?
Oh, I'm typically a village boy. Now in the city.
Hey.
I grew up, I was born, I grew up as the firstborn in a family of 2 boys and 5 girls. I was the firstborn. And you know, a firstborn is like a co-parent.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, helping the parents to take care of the other siblings.
I tell you.
So that's how I began. I went to school. In our holidays, having a shoe going to school was a miracle. And during lunchtime, when you go back for lunch and you find the cat on the fireplace, you know things are not good today.
Yeah.
You take your just a cup of water and run back to school. So it was also exciting.
Ile maisha ya ngumu.
Exactly. Yeah,
The
that
early
is
days.
the early days. And I thank God for this far. Going to high school is a challenge. After doing my KCP, I passed very well. And graciously, God came through for me through a program called Presidential Bursary Fund.
Wow.
Our late President Moi introduced Presidential Bursary Fund. I was able to go to school, one of the best schools in this country, I believe,
Hey.
and the best in Nyanza.
Hey.
Kanga High School
Kanga.
to join that time.
Hey.
I'm telling you, joining that provincial school was not easy. I remember we were only 2 from Kisumu district to join that school that year.
Hey. 2.
2.
And you happen to be one of the
I happened
lucky
to be
2.
one of the lucky 2, and my school fees was paid.
Hey.
That was a miracle. Yeah.
Hey. Ukasoma hapo ukamaliza?
Yes, I did. The school fee was not a challenge, and by that time, the school fee for the whole year was 4,400 when I joined high school. Provincial high school. Now it's a national school. 4,400. To raise that was a mountain, my brother. I thank God. My parents believed in God. They were Pentecostal. I was also under the care of my grandmother, who was a lay leader in Anglican church.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a churchy family. My father is still alive. He's a senior elder with Full Gospel Churches of Kenya.
Wow, that's great.
So it was great. When we talk about church, I know. When I was in primary school, I went to a Catholic-sponsored primary school. When I went to high school, I went to a Seventh-day sponsored high school.
Yeah.
I grew up under grandmother who was an Anglican.
You are surrounded by church.
My parents are Pentecostals. So I'm church. And thank God.
You are brought up in the atmosphere of the church.
Yeah, so I'm comfortable. If I get into a Catholic congregation, I know that they do their things.
Yeah.
If I'm in a Seventh-day congregation, I'm friends to many of them. They are my close friends. If I'm in the Pentecostal, now you have taken fish into the water.
Hey.
Yeah. Thank God I went through. I went through college. And it is in college that is now I saw the secular world. There it's not about the church now.
Yeah.
It's about the real world. And the grace of God just took me through. And I came to the city and started the hustle, just like any other person. I went to do manual jobs. I would go into a bakery. I'm a very good baker by experience. I rose to the level of a supervisor in a bakery.
If you stay longer here, we'll have some cakes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I've done that.
Yeah.
So all those kind of manual jobs I've done it. I've lived in very humble beginning when I started living alone. Here in Kawangware 46, I rented a one-room Mabati room. When I was working in a bakery in town, I sometimes would walk because there's no fare. One day I came after working in a night shift. I found the little belongings, the bed, which was a mattress. There was no bed. Had been taken. Luckily, the thief was a very good one. He left me with one sufria and my stove. I really thank that thief. He knew that this man will come back.
I hope he is watching. Yeah, that he was appreciated.
Yeah.
Was sparing the stuff and the sufuria.
Honestly, spare that. And you know, in these rooms we have curtain.
Yeah.
Where you partition this is the bedroom and this is the sitting room. He left that curtain, but he took the blanket and the mattress. So when I came back in the morning...
Maybe he took only what he was in need of.
Yeah. No, he was a very caring thief. I took the curtain, I spread part of it, I lied on the other, I covered myself on the other part. Yes.
Wow.
Because I had to go back at night to work. Yeah.
Hey, that's the early time struggle.
That was a early time struggle. Then life continued. And it's not about giving up. Sometimes I would prepare my big mold of ugali and I'm alone in this house. I would start thinking of the life in the village. I would start imagining my mother has just prepared some ugali there. And here I'm alone struggling here.
Yeah.
I would feel like crying.
And I know how they make it very good. And ingo.
Exactly. You feel like crying.
Yeah.
But here you say, I'm a man. I have to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I ventured, after that I started teaching in the slums of Mathare as a teacher in the private schools in the slums.
Okay.
So that's how really my life now became part in the slum. Because there I found very humble children. The poverty there is unimaginable. You go there right in the slum, you feel like village is better. This place, there's no toilet. One day I got into a relative's house in the slum. And that was my first time experience in the slum. And he had this relative prepared some tea and a loaf of bread and brought avocado. But before we started eating, I sensed there was some funny smell. So my curiosity made me look under the bed and I saw a mold. You see? On a trough somehow hidden there. Maybe the moment we entered, he was in the act of doing the business so that he would carry it away later. But now the visitors are here. You can't carry it. So when I looked at the avocado to smear out the bread, I was thinking of that thing.
Automatically the appetite.
Oh, it's gone. My.
Yeah.
But I didn't know God was preparing me for a slum ministry. Wow. I was teaching children and I was feeling I need to teach these children in their life. I should be the best teacher they have ever met. A lot of children passed through my hand. And at one point I now said, wow, what more can I do to one particular boy who was handicapped. He could not walk well. And he was taken to another school and the head teacher rejected this boy. I felt for this boy. And I went and shared with my wife. By this time now I'm married. With by that time I married in 2000. And this is happening now in 2003. I had 2 kids. You know, when you are married young, the first born is like they were twins with the second born. These people come very fast.
They come very fast.
That is what happened to me in my family life.
Yeah.
So the first born and the second born came so fast. But we thank God.
Yeah.
We would struggle together. Then my wife, being a good business lady, put up a cereal shop. The shop continued to expand.
Yeah.
And by God's grace, we were growing big and big, more customers coming. And when I fell for this boy, I shared with my wife. My wife said, no, there's something we can do. Can we start a center for this boy and others like this boy? Wow. My wife started that. She prayed. She's really a prayerful woman. I thank God for her prayers. We started that and she would get things from our cereal shop and feed these 2 boys. The need grew. Now we started, can we start teaching these boys? They came 4.
Wow.
My wife, you can do this and you run the shop. Can we hire somebody to take care of them? And then, before we knew it, it was a school.
Wow.
It was a school. By the time we were closing for COVID, we had over 400 children.
Wow. In Mathare?
In Mathare.
Wow.
400 children. Not only that, we started by taking care, feeding this needy boy. He was 1, became 2, they were 4. You get that? By the time we were closing for COVID, we were feeding over 3,000 children every day in Mathare.
Beautiful.
That's God.
Yeah.
That's God.
The hand of God.
So this boy, who could not even have shoes to go to school, is able to feed over 3,000 in a day. You see that? That is God.
Yeah. God translated his life into a ministry.
Imagine that. Imagine I could not go to high school unless I was sponsored through the Presidential Bursary Fund. But as we speak, I have sponsored over 100 children who have come through my hand. I've managed to go through high school. That is God.
That's God.
Man. That's God.
That means even God taking you there to Mathare.
You see?
Yeah.
The ministry?
Yeah.
You see what God has done through my hands. And from where the village where I come from, where even in the evening when we were to eat, we had to wait for the moonlight, or during dark days we would eat early by 6 because we didn't have paraffin for the lamp. So we ate early.
You have to eat early.
You see that?
Where you sleep before darkness.
So that during darkness, you have already eaten, you can now talk, make the stories
In darkness.
as you wait to sleep.
Because story doesn't need the light.
The story doesn't need the light.
Beautiful. Hey.
And I thank God my parents are still there. And it's a big testimony.
They are still alive.
They're still alive. And the other day I was in the village in April, and my father shared when we were doing my house showering. And he said, I couldn't imagine my son can build a house in the village, can bring light to my house. I have electricity. In my days, I couldn't imagine it would happen. Yeah, that's what God can do.
You became the hope for the family.
It has not been easy. There you have talked in your program about the scars. We've gone through the scars. We've gone through the pains. I'm telling you, when I was having 2 kids, I could not pay my house rent. One day I came and I found the door is not there.
The other came and went with the door?
My second born is just 4 days old.
Wow.
And the landlord has gone with the door.
Has gone in the door. Wow, my wonderful viewer, this is powerful. This is so touching. I imagine even how the landlord came and took away the door. We are going for a short break. We are coming back. Thank you.
Humble beginnings. My story, my testimony.